All right, it's Chinese kit time. What do we have today? We have part number SKUD 76781. And here it is. It is a DIY electronic kit. Here, oh, I didn't read it right. DIY electronic kit set, hearing aid, audio amplification amplifier, practice teaching, competition electronic DIY interest making. I think it has a microphone and earphones and maybe an amplifier in between. So it is $2.99. So let's build it. A lot of stuff in the kit for $2.99. That's pretty cool. Let's get it out onto a tray. Nice. All right. All right, got instructions. All right, there's the bag. Got bags inside of bags inside of bags. Oh, there's a battery. Let's go ahead and open this bag. All right, everything's through hole. That makes it easy. PC board, good quality. Looks like this is a place for the battery and a bunch of components. Looks pretty good. All right, let's see what the instructions look like. All in Chinese, Yagobuha. All right. We have a schematic, that's good. Hunho. We have a microphone. Let's see, can you see that? Let me zoom down a bit. All right, we have a microphone. We have a voltage rail and a nice big capacitor, 100 microfarads. So 100 ohms and 100 microfarads. Filters our supply over here. And we have a microphone that's biased on, so it's an electric microphone with built-in FET, and you need this to bias it. It's capacitively coupled into an amplifier and a transistor. And then that gets capacitively coupled into a potentiometer. So this would be a volume control. And then it goes into a kind of a Darlington pair, PNP, NPN, and out to the headphones. And it operates at 3 volts, which is what the battery is. And here's our parts list. I think we can handle it from here. So let's see, there's our battery holder. We do have a surface mount part. It is the headphone jack, surface mount. Interesting. Okay. Maybe we should put that one on first. That'll be when there's no components on the board, the surface mount parts are easier to do. So we should probably do that one first. And everything else looks like a through hole. Yeah. So let's put this part in first. And the reason that I say this is a lot of times you'll need to get your soldering iron in at an angle. And if there are parts in the way, it's hard to solder with the soldering irons going straight down onto the board. It's easier to have the soldering irons come in at an angle. So yeah, so we'll do that one first and then put everything else on. And we have some high quality earbuds here. And yeah, let's move the camera over. Okay, well, I hope everybody's enjoying their new year. I am filming this just a day or two after the first of the year, and have high hopes this will be a better year than the last, as I think a lot of people are. So let's see here. Let's put a blob of solder. The way that I like to do surface mount parts is to put a blob of solder on one of the pads, and then bring the part over. And then heat up that blob, and it's going to do two things. It's going to make electrical contact, but it's also now going to hold the part. So the part is like glued down to the board now, so I can solder the other the other side here. And then once I get this soldered, I'll go back and touch the first one just to make sure it was soldered down good. And there we go. So we have our surface mount part on. So now we can proceed with the other parts. And the other thing that I like to do first in kits is to put all of the flat parts on first. Again, I don't want things sticking up and getting in my way, so try to put all the low profile parts on first. So I'm going to put in all of the resistors because the resistors on this board are all down flat to the board. Okay. Now these resistors are all 1% resistors, which means they have 4 bands on them, and they are these blue packages. And I just have a hard time looking at the color codes of these things. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure each one with an ohm meter. Take the guesswork out of it. The other day I mistook a 1.2K resistor for a 12K resistor. The other way around, actually it was supposed to be 12K, and I thought it was 1.2. And so you can't always read it. Sometimes the 1%ers confuse you because 3 of the characters or 3 of the numbers are already taken care of, and then in the other case only 2 of the characters or numbers are taken care of. So this one is a 670 ohm resistor. 670 ohm. There's a 680. Now we'll put it there. The PC board is marked. So that's good, no need for the schematic. All right, we'll pop him in. All right, and the next one we will measure. One of my viewers likes the way I say measure. I don't know why I say measure, it's measure, but I don't know, I just say measure. And I've always said it that way, I don't know why. 5K. All right, so this is 5K, there's a 5.1K on the board. Measure. And I say antenna, which may not be correct, depending on where you're from. I had a teacher in, I think the 8th grade, who was from the deep south. And he had lots of interesting ways of pronouncing certain words. Like stomach, he pronounced stung up. I never quite figured out where he got stung up, but that's the way he pronounced it. And taking a picture with a camera was a pixja. Take a pixja. So we tried to take all of his, these are all 120K, 120K, measure this one, 120K, and yeah, these are all, ooh, that one's different. Ooh, that one's different. Okay, those are stuck together. That's why you measure them. It looked like they were all on the same tape and rail, but they weren't. So this is 100 ohms, so we'll put the 100 ohms in. Anyway, so we took all of the words that he said very strangely in our ear, and we made a sentence. And the sentence was, you take an extra lots of pictures of the light bulb and you stung up. Which was, you take an extra lot of now I can't say it, pictures of the light bulb in your stomach. But it was, you take lots of extra pictures of the light bulb and you stung up. So if I have any viewers that have southern drawls, I apologize. Everybody has their own quirks. Like I said, I pronounce certain words ways that others just don't think is right. So these are 120K. Do I have any? Yeah, 120Ks. He's actually a pretty good teacher. Taught mathematics. And he was very interested in doing math in your head. or actually not math, arithmetic. Was interested in being able to calculate arithmetic very quickly in your head. And we would have competitions and stuff. I don't think that taught me math. Big difference between math and mathematics. I do not like the way they're teaching math these days in the schools, but that's another topic. I had to teach my daughter the right way to do it because she wasn't understanding what they were teaching her, and for good reasons. They were teaching her crud. And so I taught her to do it the right way. And, she got A's in calculus when the time came. There's other people struggle. And I remember her saying, "Hey, Dad, this is in high school, and people were really having a hard time doing the math, so I showed them how to do it the right way, and everybody passed the test." The teacher was not too pleased. The teacher wanted them to learn it her way, but her way was really garbage. I don't know. All right, let's solder some parts down. I always find it interesting, too, that the United States seems to want to reinvent how you teach things. And if you go to Russia or you go to Singapore or some other country, you might learn that, hey, they're teaching math the way that you've always taught it. And, that's probably for a good reason. Certain principles that it is based off of, and if you follow those principles, you might learn it. But we like to do things different. And let's see how that works out for us. All right, all the resistors are on. So now we have all of the low things on the board. So now we can put things that kind of stand up. There's a couple of capacitors, so let's put them on. This is a little tiny one. This one is a 104, which is a 0.1 microfarad. But it might be marked 104 on the board. Let's take a look. There it is, 0.1. Oh, it says 0.1 microfarads. So it's good that I knew. 104 is a very common value. 100000. Okay. Okay. And now we have electrolytics. Quite a few electrolytics because it's a audio circuit. So a lot of times you'll run into lots of electrolytics on audio circuits. If you've ever had to recap a radio, you'll learn that there are lots of capacitors in radios. And lots of electrolytics, and they go bad after time, and then you have to replace them all, and yeah. I don't think the world has invented a capacitor that doesn't go bad. Or, an electrolytic, at least. Okay, so this one is a 4.7. Go there, the long leg of the electrolytic. There's two legs, one's short, one's long. The long one is usually the plus. And then you can also check the side. There's a little band over here that says negative, so yeah, checks out. There's two ways to double check yourself, make sure you're putting them in the right way. Let's solder these on first. Decided to actually rain here in California finally. We haven't had rain for a while. Good day to be in the shop. I don't know. Should I call it a shop? Should I call it a lab? I don't know. Call it the garage. All right. And one more capacitor. Another 4.7. All right. I need to buy some capacitors for that receiver I'm working on. Some high voltage capacitors. I'll get those on order. Okay. What else do we have going on here? Let's see, here's a switch. I like that. Let's put the switch on. These are nice little switches because they're on 100 mil centers. 0.1 inch. I always put one down first. Turn this around. I put one in and then I heat it up and I rotate it around and push on it so that it's nice and straight. Always make sure your thing is straight before you solder the other two leads on, because then it's too late. All right. That looks good. What else do we got going on here? How about a resistor? Potentiometer. A pot. All right. What did they call these in the old days? They called them something else. Can't come up with the word. All right, there we go. Okay, so we have three transistors, a 9014, a 9014, and a 9012. So let's see if we can find the 9012. That's the 14. That's a 14. Of course, it's the last one. And that is a 12. Get out my magnifying glass just to double check. I have fairly good vision with glasses, but I do wear glasses. All right. This is a hearing aid, and hearing aids are going high-tech as well. They're quite fancy. I don't know if you've listened to Adam Savage talk about his hearing aid. It's quite amazing. I will probably need one in the future. Most people do. And the technology is getting very good. They're still way too expensive, though. They're just ridiculously expensive. That's just not right. Maybe by the time I need one, they'll be down in price. They shouldn't be expensive at all. But they are. And of course, things like the great American insurance scam won't pay for them. So everybody runs around not hearing. Just like everybody goes to work sick because they can't stay home. So turn this around. It's really sad, you know, I worked at a company where we had a infinite sick leave policy, you know. Just if you're sick, you stay home. You know, no number of days written down, you stay home. And people still came into work. Because their bosses didn't encourage it, you know. They didn't say, go home. You know, we have this perfect sick leave policy, you know, go home. They didn't ever say that. If somebody dragged themselves into work, they'd go, oh, great, you're working today. Good for you. Am I ranting today? Maybe I'm ranting. maybe I should be doing a fun electronics kit instead. Yeah, that's a good idea. All right, well, my camera timed out. My camera, they drive me insane. They can record for 30 minutes and then they shut off. I don't know why, some legal thing or I don't know. Anyway, after 30 minutes, they shut down. So I need to always remember, you know, at about 20 minutes, I should probably stop the video and start it up again. Anyway, it timed out right at the end though, so that's good. You got most of it. So it is all together now. So what do we got? We got a pretty nice kit. So this is the cheapy headphones that go in it, and so those go in, and there's a switch for on. So let's go ahead and see if this thing works. We'll turn it on, and let's see. Let me put the earbud up next to the microphone of my recorder, and so hopefully you can hear that. Let me okay, let me try this again. Hopefully you'll be able to hear this. Testing 1 2 3. Test 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 test. So I'm hoping that records. Hello, test test test. There we go. But so what do I think of the kit? So it's $2.99. Great price. It's very high quality components, and it's pretty easy to put together. It's all through hole. Comes with its own battery and everything. You don't need to supply anything. It's all self-inclusive. I think one of the most important parts of this kit is what you end up with once you've built it. So if you're trying to get people interested in electronics, you really need something that's compelling. So what this does is it creates something that's a new experience for them. You know, if it's a kid or something, you know, they'll put these earbuds in their ears and the world will change. They will hear things that they've never heard before, and they can turn it up, and it's almost like a secret agent type thing, you know. I think it would be really, really exciting. Another thing is that it teaches them about hearing aids, right? People see maybe guide dogs, you know, people who can't see, they have dogs to help them out. Well, people who can't hear have hearing aids to help them out, and this gives them that idea. I remember my daughter was kind of scared of my father because he had a hearing aid. She didn't know what that thing was that went in his ear, and every once in a while it would squeal, right? When the batteries were going dead. He had an old one. So it gets them comfortable with the idea of oh, there we go. This one's squealing. You hear that? That's interesting. Oops. Let me get my microphone over here. Yeah, so feedback on the device. So anyway, yeah, it helps them be sensitized about people who have hearing problems and stuff. So I think it's great for that too. So it's a really good kit. Like I said, $2.99. It's really nice. Comes with everything, which is also nice. You know, you don't need to find batteries. You know, all you need to do is put it together and make it work. So yeah, big thumbs up.